There are some signs someone likes you in the lifestyle. It's really good to know from afar if somebody likes you or not, or is attracted to you, especially at parties and at events for the swinging lifestyle. Mirroring is one. If you're like this and somebody else goes like this and is talking to you, that's called mirroring, and it's a sign that they're attracted to you. Somebody walks up to you and is standing exactly like you are. It's a way to show that it's kind of copying what you're doing. Understanding the space proximity, it's called proximate mix, and it's understanding the space zones. If they're 6 to 7 feet away from you, that's called a cultural public zone, and then if they're 3 to 5 feet, that's social zone, and the personal zone is 1.5 to 3 feet. The intimate zone is 1.5 feet away. Now, it's like pre-kissing. If you get real close, it's also very hot, very sexual to be very close. Now, you can use this in your everyday life, because if you know you're getting too close, people will be uncomfortable. And if they're uncomfortable, they'll show it in their body language, or they'll back up. So you really need to understand and play with these zones to see what you can do or not, and what would tell you or not. Pay attention to how close they get to you, or if they lean in. Lean in shows interest and privacy. And so that's kind of getting an intimate zone when you're in talking, and especially with loud music. So don't misunderstand loud music. If it's real loud, they're just trying to hear what the hell you're saying. Touching somebody, you can touch them on the elbow. It's considered unsexual to touch somebody in the elbow, and I found that out as a kid, and as a teenager, I would touch this girl, which I liked the girl, but it wasn't sexual, and I touched her by the elbow, and her dad came to me and said, "Don't touch her on the elbow, she considers that very sexual." I said, "Okay, fine." Talk about kinks, I don't know. So later in life, I'm careful not to touch people in places they would consider personal, or try to, unless I really know them. So have body language when you're talking to somebody. This is generally for everybody. You just have body language. It helps warm up people when talking to the strangers that you don't know, that you might have sex with. Eye contact is another one. It's eye contact can give you like oxytocin. It can change your chemicals. So have eye contact when they're talking. And some people are comfortable with talking eye to eye, some aren't. And you'll notice that they might look at your nose or your mouth. So you might want to look at their nose or their mouth. So you might copy them in their views of what you're doing. So, like I said, body language, touch, self-touch. If they're insecure, or you want your hands out, you want to be able to talk and have them out and not show signs of nerves, especially if you're the male. And that helps people, is to keep your hands visible and your eyes looking at them. And then if it's real loud music, move in and hear, and they'll take that as a sign that you're interested in them. Flirting from a distance. I was in a group where we were all at there were a pool, and a woman kept looking at me, and she was pretty, and they were a great couple. But I would look back, and eventually I went over and just said, "Hey, this is who I am, and this is my partner, and this is what we're doing." And it helped break the ice, and then we had great conversations with them. So those are some things where you can look for signs somebody's attracted to you. If the person catches you looking at them and then they don't look at you again, you might take that as a sign that they're not interested in you. If you get in close and you're talking to them and you're in a swinging situation, it's a sign that maybe if they back off, it's a sign that they're not going to be interested in you, or they're uncomfortable with that kind of familiarity. So those are things you can look for. Reasonable, seductive, sexual questions for swingers. Some think don't talk about sex before sex, but it actually makes sex with someone you don't know very well better. So questions build a sense of trust for the male and female both. And what is the favorite places on your body that you like to be touched? Some people say hands and feet and thighs, and they like their face cupped. They like touching someone's arms. So that's a pretty good question. I knew this guy that would ask women before he did anything in a sexual situation. So they're swinging different rooms. There were two couples that divided up with opposite partners, and he would ask, and she goes, "Why do you ask?" And he said, "For one, I don't know you very well, and I want to show you respect." And she told him later that was one of the biggest turn-ons she could ever imagine, that he would ask because he was just being polite and because he's that kind of person. So what position do you like to have an O? I don't want to have to say the words up, and do you like anal, doggy style, all those others? Do you like toys? What toys did you bring? How do you like them used? Have you ever had a bad experiences that you'd like to share with me? Now, I asked that after the first successful meeting with someone while you're talking, and have you ever had something that you'd like to share? You can ask this before, be prepared for the answer and what it means to what's going to happen. Any health problems you want me to know about? Do you have any health problems? Are you sore anywhere? Did you break your toe or whatever? What are the favorite foreplays? Show to build. Let's see. What are the favorite foreplay things? So let's see, like showering can be. Showering's good. You're able to see the person, make sure there's no sores. Soap is a good relaxer, so it can remove some of the stress. So what's your favorite foreplay? It can be with fingers, can be with kissing, can be dancing. Dancing, two couples got together and they were dancing and it turned them all on. So that might be something to consider. And what kinks do you have? I'm not going to name them all, but do you like to be spanked? Do you like to be talked dirty? I usually find being talked dirty too humorous, but that is also something that's a good question to ask. What do you like?
Swingers Guide DGM Insights. Please watch and subscribe.